Zaventem Airport, end of May 2015. Infrastructure specialist Aswebo starts renovating runway 25L07R. It's exactly 30 years since this part of the airport was thoroughly renovated to the strictest international standards. This follows months of meticulous planning together with the subcontractors and Brussels Airport Company. The renovation will be completed in 2 phases. First, the largest part, the runway itself. This is over 3 kilometers long and also involves an extra project, the renovation of the road tunnel passing under the runway. The tunnel shaft is completely exposed as the waterproofing is no longer adequate. If water seeps in, the steel bars will rust and the concrete will crumble, so the whole of the surface above the tunnel needs to be rebuilt layer by layer. This requires highly specialized techniques. Meanwhile, work is also taking place on other parts of the runway. 2 or 3 layers of asphalt are removed, together with the drainage channels, cables and transformer boxes for the lights. The foundation underneath the asphalt is also removed along the edges of the runway. There are huge piles of rubble, but this won't just be dumped, it'll all be sorted carefully, then crushed and sieved, as most of the rubble is to be recycled. Thanks to a meticulous combination of supply and removal, recycling of the rubble and optimization of the schedule, the impact on the environment and surrounding area is kept to a minimum. Where the foundation is dug up, a new layer is laid. The soil is stabilized, first by adding a mixture of lime and cement using a special machine. GPS-controlled bulldozers spread another layer of foundation evenly on top. The drainage system is also rebuilt along this side strip. Around 9 kilometers of drains are relined. New lighting cables are also laid, over a total distance of more than 180 kilometers. The extra works on the road tunnel have been completed. Everything is now covered with a heavy concrete slab to minimize the impact of aircraft landing and taking off. The massive reinforced concrete slab is cast in a single continuous operation. Once that's done, asphalting the runway can begin. At first sight, it looks like surfacing a motorway, but over a much wider area and with a much thicker structure. It's now midsummer, and the peak holiday season has begun at the airport. Every year, over 22 million passengers pass through the checkpoints and gates on the way to or from their aircraft. They don't notice that major works are taking place on a runway at the height of the summer peak, or that not all the runways are operating at full capacity. Aswebo and the airport authorities have worked it all out, down to the smallest detail. The airport management also manages to dispatch all flights smoothly and safely on a limited number of runways.
Bravo 1, line up await, runway 25 right, center 1 to south.
Safe takeoff and touchdown are the top priorities at an international airport, and that requires runways like billiard tables. Laying the various layers of asphalt seamlessly and super flat over an area about 3 kilometers long and 45 meters wide is no easy task. There also has to be a slight camber so that rainwater can run off easily. This part of the project is nothing new for Aswebo at the airport. 18 years ago, Aswebo successfully renewed the top layers of asphalt. The use of machines and people in this project is truly impressive. About 10,000 truckloads are needed to bring all the necessary materials on site, and just as many to take away the rubble. If all of these trucks were parked one behind the other on one lane of a motorway, they'd stretch from London to Birmingham. And if all the other machines used were included, they would stretch even further. To achieve the desired result, the top layer is laid across the whole width. To do this, 6 or sometimes even 8 special asphalting machines run side by side. The top layer is Marshall asphalt with high-grade elastomeric bitumen, highly resistant to temperature fluctuations, as a binder. By the end of the project, over 100,000 tons of fresh asphalt will have been laid, covering an area equivalent to 42 football pitches. One and a half months after the start of the works, Phase 2 begins. Exactly the same process takes place at the junction with the airport's diagonal runway. Since this means that aircraft will only have one full runway and 2 reduced runways available to them, this phase has to be completed in 10 days. So the deployment of machinery and labour is increased considerably. Every part of the project is of equal importance for achieving the desired end result, not least the lights on and beside the runway. The aim is to end up with a perfectly functioning runway lighting system once more, with LED technology to save energy. 1,500 lamps are required, plus transformers and controllers. Finally, a concrete collar is poured around each transformer box. Once it's cured, thousands of grooves of even width are cut in the top layer to help the water drain away when it rains. The roar of heavy machines is now gradually dying down. Over the last few months, the entire fleet of machines has gone through almost 200,000 litres of fuel. The subcontractor responsible for the markings on the tarmac is still hard at work. The markings need to be done with extreme precision and to a high standard. Altogether, this precision work takes around 8,000 litres of paint. Two and a half months after the start of the works, the renovated runway can be handed over. Around 1,500 people from engineering firms, suppliers, subcontractors, the client, and Aswebo itself have pulled out all the stops so Aswebo could complete this project ahead of schedule and to specification. For the next 30 years, millions of air passengers will once more enjoy a flawless takeoff or a smooth landing on runway 25L07R.